Coming of Age is coming up next. I'm your host, Emily Echeverria. First up today, we're talking ticker health for American Heart Month. Next up, we're peeking behind the curtain with Pensacola Little Theater on some exciting new updates to the facility and this season's upcoming shows. Lastly, we'll be learning more about a newly formed organization that's hoping to help tackle the increasingly dire housing challenges faced by our community. Stay with us. Coming of Age starts right now. As we age, staying active in life and involved in the community can become a challenge. But with Council on Aging of West Florida's wide range of home-based services, you remain healthy, independent, and engaged. From Meals on Wheels and respite care to senior dining sites and the retreat, you'll find the support and connection that you need to age well. Aging looks different for everyone, and we're here to help you meet your needs and thrive while maintaining what makes you, you. We've been in the community since 1972, advocating for elders and supporting those who care for our parents and grandparents. Now, join us as we discuss the age-related issues that matter to you. February is designated as American Heart Month. During this month, health professionals strive to raise awareness of the importance of heart health and encourage healthy habits that can help reduce the risk of heart disease. Coronary heart disease is the leading cause of death for both men and women. Here to talk to us today about the risk factors, symptoms, and treatment of coronary heart disease is Dr. Pelbreton Balfour. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So first of all, what is coronary heart disease?
Great question. So coronary heart disease, or also known as coronary artery disease, is a condition where the blood vessels that supply the heart with nutrients and oxygen become narrowed or blocked due to a buildup of plaque. What then happens is there's decreased blood flow to the heart that may lead to symptoms or problems such as a heart attack.
Okay, and so what are those symptoms that might start coming up for coronary heart disease?
So the symptoms can vary. The most common symptom we have is chest pain, which could be described as a discomfort, a stabbing pain, a pressure. You can also have symptoms where you feel short of breath or difficulty breathing. You may even feel lightheaded or dizzy. Some patients may even notice a rapid or irregular heart rate as well.
Okay. And what are the risk factors that people should be looking out for coronary heart disease?
So there are several risk factors for coronary artery disease, including elevated blood pressure, elevated cholesterol, diabetes, leading a sedentary lifestyle, tobacco use, also eating an unhealthy diet. We also know that age, gender, or race and ethnicity also plays a role with regards to developing heart disease.
Okay. What can people do to reduce their risk of developing this disease?
There are several things that we can do to decrease our chance of developing heart disease, including, number one, knowing your risk factors. So what your blood pressure is, what your cholesterol is, and having those conditions managed and controlled. In addition, adopting a healthy lifestyle. So regular physical activity, eating a balanced diet, low in salt, low in fat, also maintaining a healthy weight, other important steps to help us reduce our risk factors.
Sure. How would you diagnose coronary heart disease?
So there are several methods or steps we use in terms of helping us diagnose coronary artery disease. Initially, we start off with a detailed history and physical, which can allow us to identify your individual risk factors and then also possible signs or symptoms that may be related to heart disease. This can then lead us to determine what tests may be needed, such as lab work and EKG, other non-invasive testing, such as an ultrasound of the heart, stress test, or also a CT calcium score, which can allow us to detect the level of plaque in your heart.
Gotcha. So definitely staying on top of those vital signs and that you would be getting at an annual checkup, say, and knowing what that correlates to as far as your risk of the disease. So what advice would you give our audience for maintaining that healthy lifestyle and a healthy heart?
So my advice would be, in terms of to maintaining a healthy heart, is prevention. I think prevention is key. And how we can do that is by, one, knowing what your risk factors are. Two, maintaining regular routine care to be on top of those risk factors. Also, adopting a healthy lifestyle, so making sure you're getting adequate physical activity, eating a healthy diet filled with fruits and vegetables, and also managing those risks such as diabetes, blood pressure. In addition, also maintaining routine physical care and seeing your physician when you have new symptoms.
Okay. So if someone is feeling like they would have to do a complete overhaul to their life to start adopting these healthy habits, I mean, where can they start? What could they start doing today to kind of start getting on top of this?
Yeah. I think that's a great question. I think sometimes we may feel overwhelmed at times, but I think one would be even starting with seeing your doctor for a regular checkup to even know, hey, what are my individual risk factors? In addition, also in cardiology, we do a lot of prevention. I think sometimes patients think that they have to see us when they have a heart problem, but actually you can, see your cardiologist too for prevention and have what we call a risk stratification or a risk evaluation for your future risk of heart disease.
So you can go straight to the cardiologist. You don't have to go get a referral to see you.
Yes, and that for different, say, insurance companies, we do have some that require a referral, but there are many where you yourself can make a referral call or office, or even make an appointment online to see us in cardiology as well.
And that's even if you don't have already some kind of symptom, if you just want to kind of get an assessment, see what your risk factors are?
Very good question. Yes. So, we don't want you to wait till you develop symptoms. You can come in before, then we can assess, what's your blood pressure, what's your cholesterol, and also even ask more detailed questions about your family history, because we know that genetics play a role. How early, say, your parents or grandparents had heart disease is important. And we can sort of put those things together to determine your overall risk.
Okay, so people can kind of start collecting that information about their family history to get a little bit of an idea of what their risk factors might look like before they even come and see you.
Definitely, and that's very important because once again, I think prevention is plays a huge role in us reducing the amount of cardiovascular disease in our community.
Absolutely, and so you don't want to wait until you start having that heart flutter or that chest pain.
Definitely. We do want you to come in right away when you're having symptoms, but please, you don't have to wait definitely to be on top of your health care.
All right. Well, thank you so much for this information.
Thank you for having us.
Coming up, the show must go on. We're previewing what's new in the local theater scene. Stay tuned.
It's important to get a flu shot each and every year because flu viruses are constantly changing and immunity from the vaccine decreases over time. Flu vaccines are updated annually to work against that year's viruses. The best time to get your shot is in the fall, but getting it later can still help. Getting a flu shot lowers your risk of getting sick, and if you do happen to get flu, it's likely to be less severe.
Animal Allies is looking for volunteers, and there are many ways that you can help. From taking care of cats to using your computer and social media skills, any and all assistance is greatly appreciated. We have morning and afternoon shifts every day or help at adoption events. You can even foster a kitty at home. And it counts towards community service hours for bright futures. Find Animal Allies Florida on Facebook and Instagram, or go to aaflorida.org/volunteer.
When cancer tries to take you away from the things that matter most, Baptist Cancer Institute offers caring physicians and the most innovative treatment options. With convenient locations and a wide array of support programs and services, we're here to help you during the most difficult of times. As a member of the Mayo Clinic Care Network, we're bringing even more innovative cancer care to our community right here at home. When you need cancer care, we'll be there.
Pensacola Little Theater is a nonprofit community theater with decades of history and a central place in the city's arts and cultural scene. Along with a wide range of stage productions and special events, there are some exciting updates ahead for the center. We have Community Outreach Director Kimberly Scott here to tell us more about what we can expect this season and beyond. Thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me.
So first off, tell me about your role with Pensacola Little Theater.
Well, I am the Community Outreach Director, which means I work to find ways to communicate and connect with our community, whether that be me going out to the schools or the organizations or bringing the organizations to us and having them go on tours and learning about our building or, seeing shows and field trips. So it's been a really fun experience and finding all the different ways that I can outreach to our community.
Yeah, like coming on this show.
Yeah.
For those that don't know, what is the mission and the goals of the Pensacola Little Theater and the Clark Family Cultural Center?
Well, really our goal is to really have something for everyone. So with our programming, we have programming for 4-year-olds all the way up to adults and seniors. And we want to entertain the community, but also educate the community about the culture and art that we have. So it's really just being a safe, fun, and entertaining place for our community.
Awesome. And it always has been for me. I love PLT.
Awesome.
And I know there's some big changes in the works for the facility. Can you tell us what's going on and what's new with the renovations?
Yeah, so we're in an entire building renovation. So it's been really exciting. And we are moving into our new offices this Friday. And we just got the courtroom redone, and what else was good? So the entire building was redone, and then in the next phase, we'll have a rooftop bar venue, which will be done next summer, and it'll be a performance venue, and then we have all brand new seats in the theater, and yeah, pretty much every single thing is renovated.
I can't wait to
be renovated.
It.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people are really excited about that rooftop venue. That sounds like it's going to be really awesome.
Oh yeah. I'm super excited about that.
Well, tell me about the shows and events that are coming up in the next few months.
Yeah, so right now we have the show Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, and that's going on in our courtroom. It's a very intense show about a boy with autism. And then March 8th, we have a show called 13, which is about 13-year-olds, and they have to set up a bar mitzvah, and that one is very fun. It's a musical and it's very energetic and exciting. So that opens March 8th.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So what are some opportunities to get involved at the theater if somebody wants to kind of dip their toe and get involved with that community?
Yeah, so a good way to just get involved right away is by volunteering. And so for your community with the Council on Aging, we have opportunities for them to come in during the day. So whether they want to work on the set pieces or they want to sew or even organize some of our archives and history materials, that's something that they can do. Or if they're interested in ushering, that's a big one that a lot of people that's a good point of entry, and they get to see the show and dress up. And that's kind of the main way people get started. And then they just start coming more and more. And if you're not quite ready to volunteer, you can come see a show anytime.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So one thing you didn't talk about at an event that I know is coming up is Cabaret. Can you tell us a little bit about what that event will entail?
Yeah, so Cabaret takes place in our entire building. It's just a big celebration of art, and even more so this year with the theme being Express Yourself. So we're going to just be celebrating art in every different form that it can come in, and it's going to be super fun, and it's a black tie. Everyone's going to be dressed up in their best outfits. And another good thing that's exciting about that is, as I was saying earlier, we have all these exciting renovations going on. You'll get to be some of the first people to kind of see how great this renovation looks in our building.
Awesome. And I know it's music, it's dancing, there's food. It has a little bit of everything.
Yes, definitely.
I love that. So what else should people know about PLT that maybe they don't know?
Well, a couple of things that people maybe don't know, and kind of going back to the volunteering, they can also get involved with our outreach program. We've just kind of built that up a little bit more over the years. And so if there's opportunities, we go out to schools, and that's another way that your population could volunteer with us. And also you can catch us at all of the gallery nights. And that's kind of a new thing we've been doing. And I'm really excited about this gallery night on Friday, because we're going to have a special performance with that one with the cast of 13, which I was talking about earlier. And So those are just some things we're really excited about.
So for gallery night, do you have to come to the center, or is it something that's out in the street in the main drag?
Yeah, so we are in the main area, and we're within the nonprofit zone, which there's a lot of other great nonprofits out there next to us. So that's where you can find us. And there we'll also be giving out some like memorabilia. So, and we have some coupons there too as well. So you'll catch us this next Friday for February, but then we're out there every month as well, showing about our new shows, our new opportunities, and yeah.
So I know you're a nonprofit, and Cabaret is like the big fundraiser of the year, right? And so what does that fund? What are the programs that go out into the community for that, other than obviously the shows that you do? Yeah,
so a big thing that Cabaret helps with is, like you said, the general operating of the building, but also with our education. Our education program has just grown and grown, and with that comes more needs, and that just helps funds our shows and programs for students. And then also with our outreach program, we just jump-started a new program where we're actually transporting kids to our building and offering classes for free, and that just goes into helping us do everything that we're able to do and keep being that safe place for the community. And that's why I'm really excited about it, because of all of the different ways that Cabaret will, of course, just be a fun party, but it's more than that. It's bigger than that. It's really helping us be a place where people can come and feel safe to create, and also for people to be entertained and educated.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I know of the plays you mentioned, I know you tell such a diverse range of stories. Tell me about how the kind of season gets chosen and curated.
Yeah, so we pick a theme for the season, and then that we pick shows that go in it that follow the theme. And this year is the season of love. Yeah. And that can be, shown in all different kinds of ways, which I love, that we have shows like 13, but then also shows like Alabama Story, which was about book banning and the library and people working together. So we just really have a variety of shows. And then our big one to close our season will be Rent, which is a very big musical and story. So we're really excited for that this summer.
Yeah, I'm very excited about that as well.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Stay tuned. We're discussing a new approach to tackling the challenge of housing up next.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
Bro, you gotta stop with that depression stuff. That's a white people thing.
Escúchame, en esta casa los hombres no lloran.
You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
Thanks for hearing me out, bro. Appreciate it.
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad. Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
The issue of housing is top of mind in our community and many others across the country. As this multifaceted challenge continues to grow, many organizations are working toward finding solutions. Florida Housing Enterprises is a new organization whose mission is to provide safe, affordable, and sustainable housing solutions to individuals and families in need, and this group is laying the groundwork for those efforts. We have Patrice Whitten here to tell us more. Thank you for being with us here today, Patrice.
Thank you for having me here, Emily, and Council on Aging. This is, as you mentioned, a very, very important topic, and locally we can still stem the tide and make a huge difference, and that's why we are here and what we want to do to help individuals.
Yeah. Well, tell me about the mission of Florida Housing Enterprises and how you got involved.
Oh, okay. So the mission stated on our website is empowering others through affordable housing, because we believe that, if one has a home, you have an address, your kids can go to school you can feel secure. You know you have a place in the world, in society, a home. And that makes such a difference from an individual's perspective, we believe. The breakdown of the family unit in our country is at the core, we believe, of what has caused this. Mm-hmm. And if we can provide that for individuals, single parents, families, then we feel like we can make a difference in society and help people succeed.
Absolutely. That is the foundation of a stable life, for sure. So I know that Florida Housing Enterprises is working toward permanent, affordable, supportive housing. What does that mean?
Shorthand is PASH, and it's pretty well known. It's permanent in that it's a landlord-tenant relationship, which is prescribed, delineated in state law, so that it's fair and balanced for both parties. So that's the permanent part of it. It's not just a shelter for overnight, it's an actual home. And these part of it that is affordable is what is essential, especially for our area, we feel, is you look at the numbers, and I'll talk about some numbers in a moment, but the affordability is we want to serve individuals who are at the low income level or mid. And if you look at the statistics and you see who that might be and what rent cost, what's happening with the rent costs is they're just going up. And I recently spoke with one of our board members, and he was telling me about, he runs food service restaurant, he and his wife, telling me about an individual who works for him, who had over a $700 Uber bill because he did not have transportation. And then he found that he had no home, that he was couch surfing, so bouncing from one place to another, and, getting in touch with him was difficult. So looking at some of those issues, the affordability factor is big. And if I may, I have some stats I'd like to share.
Sure.
Okay, so we talked about we want to serve people and in the 80% AMI being area median income. And that for our area is prescribed by HUD, the Department of Housing and Urban Development. As an example, for the Pensacola Ferry Pass, Brent, Florida, MSA, as we're known, the average income at 80% AMI is $45,850. The 50% AMI is $28,650. HUD indicates that a person should spend no more than 30% on housing, of their income. So if you look at that at 80% AMI, that is $1,146 a month. And finding rent at $1,146 or less a month, and that's at 80%. Mm-hmm. If you look at 50% AMI, then that rent is going to be $716 per month, or 30% of their income. Mm-hmm. And per apartments.com, the current average rent for a one bedroom in our area is right now $1,252. So therein lies the need and lies the problem that we are trying to resolve.
Absolutely. And I know for us, we're always hearing from older adults in the community that are on that fixed Social Security income. The average Social Security income and the average rent is wildly disproportionate. So it's not adding up for that. Well, tell me how Florida Housing Enterprises will accomplish its mission. Like, what does a successful project look like for this organization?
Well, it's supportive, which goes back to the PASH, in that we provide individuals, we have case managers, and FHE will assess the needs of each individual and determine how we might partner with area organizations to help the individual succeed. They don't have to participate, tenants don't, but they may choose to become part of that community, in that when they come on to the project campus, if you will, then they're accessible it's available. And when matched with the needs of the tenants, it might be mental, behavioral health, physical health, handicap. We serve seniors 55 plus. And we expect that 30% of our tenants will be seniors 55 plus. Mm-hmm. And of course, some of them will need medical supplies, wheelchair, they may not have access. So the important part of succeeding with what they need and supplying what they need is getting the individuals to interact with them. And that comes with the case managers. It also comes with bringing in and partnering with organizations such as Council on Aging, for example, Health and Hope Clinic we hope to partner with, other mental health facilities and organizations, and also help with the handicapped. And there's food insecurity, so that's going to be a very big part of ensuring that they have stability in their lives. Mm-hmm. If we can provide that and shelter and, help them stabilize, then we feel like that's a success.
Because yes, we know that if somebody is having housing insecurity, there are often other challenges that go with that. It's not just the housing, it's everything that falls into line along with that.
Yeah, it's kind of a downward spiral at some point.
Absolutely. So what can people do if they wanted to get involved or stay updated on what's going on with Florida Housing Enterprises?
There are a lot of ways to get involved. Of course, go to the website. We have the website is fheinc.org. Also stay informed, city council meetings, commissioners, councils that serve the homeless and individuals. AHAC is a very good organization that's local, area housing, and go to those meetings and stay informed. Look at the state organizations, the national organizations, like National Low Income Housing Coalition is a very, very important group that advocates on behalf of those who need housing.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for the work you're doing. Thank you for joining me today.
Appreciate it so much.
And thank you for watching. Until next time, enjoy life. You've earned it.